Great to have Devon Levi join us here on this game day, and you're inching closer, undoubtedly, to getting on the ice and with this group in a game situation. What is it like just being around them at this time?
Yeah, it's been great. You know, it's such a great group of guys. I knew a few of them coming in, so it was easy to get settled with them. You know, I know the building, the staff, just from being here in Dev Camp, so you know, it's been a pretty easy transition.
I saw you got your gear wrapped to look more like Sabres, and you're waiting on your new equipment. Don Granado yesterday made sure to say, well, it's going to take time. You break in new gear. I was going to say, Don, it's not 1982 anymore. So how long does it take you to break new gear? If you get them out of the box, can you, like, be comfortable in a day with them?
No, I wouldn't say a day, maybe a few skates.
Okay.
It depends how much new gear. So we're doing like the whole shebang, the pants, the chesty, the pads.
Okay.
I haven't gotten the pads yet, and the gloves, new helmet. So it takes a little bit more time just because it's full gear. But hopefully in a few days, feeling a little bit more comfortable. But been working it in just by myself, skating. But yeah, hopefully.
What's the worst to break in? Like, I know what I hated to break in, which I never did, but what's the worst piece if you see gloves, pads, pants, and chesty?
I would say chesty.
Okay.
Yeah, just not being able to move. You feel like you're a refrigerator sometimes. Can't move your
It's
arms.
good. You feel big, though, but...
Yeah, it's hard to move the arms and the head also. So,
would you have felt in any way uncomfortable just using what you've been using coming in and playing in the NHL?
No, I would have felt great. But there's like some size like specifications that I have to meet, and obviously the team colors. So,
but that's why I bring it up. Dylan Ferguson proved last night with 47 saves
with
against
different
Pittsburgh,
colors,
with mismatched colors that it really doesn't matter.
When he celebrated with his white and blue glove, it was like, that doesn't look too good.
Yeah.
But pants were the ones that I hated the most.
Yeah.
This is from the guy who never wore a different pair of skates.
Yeah, same skates from the time I was my second-year junior, my whole career.
Oh my God!
So I just changed the cowling, which is you probably don't even have cowlings anymore.
No, we
like
don't.
your skates down. Some goalies still have them, but yeah, pants I hated because the 5-0. I didn't like when my knees didn't touch and with the knee pads. So that was me, but I can see chest and arm being a tough one.
Did you have like a strong affinity for the style of gear when you first got into goaltending as a kid? Like, when you were equipment shopping as a kid, were you really picky about this kind of stuff?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, that's the best part of being a goalie, designing your gear.
Yeah.
So I remember like I was a forward at first, and I changed to become a goalie, and so my town like would give like goalies gear just like to use. Just to try to get like players to become goalies so that they don't have to buy all their equipment.
Yep.
And I remember there was this one glove. It was like a black and yellow like street hockey glove, and I was like, I'm not wearing that glove if I'm becoming a goalie. I just can't do it. It doesn't look good.
Okay, so how old was that? Like, when did you first put on the pads and said, okay, I want to be a goalie now?
So I started skating when I was around 5.
Yeah.
And I was a forward for the first part of my hockey career. I think I changed when I was around 9 or 10 to be a goalie.
Okay, so you worked on edge work and skating and all that agility on the ice before saying, okay, just do some shuffle and T-pushes and that's it.
Yeah, exactly. I learned how to skate. I learned how to play the game of hockey before becoming a goalie. I think that was pretty important.
Yes.
It helped a lot for sure.
No,
Those are great memories with the league provided equipment. I remember when
I had DNR. Like
exactly.
So do you know what DNR is?
Yeah.
The equipment they were made like back home, right? So I had DNR, blue, red, and white. Man, were they sweet! They were so good.
The only downside was sometimes you'd get it was wet.
Yes.
It was previously used when you were trying the goalie gear out, but
from somebody else's sweat, which is not good.
Yeah, exactly. Were you from? Would you say your family is very athletic, and that kind of helped just pull along your interest in the game?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, my dad played growing up. He always loved the game, and he started playing when he was young, and so he got me into it. My mom also, I think, when she was in high school, she was like the fastest runner in school, so she's athletic also. And yeah, just pretty athletic family. So it's no question being Canadian boy from Montreal to put the skates on.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a difference between being athletic and being flexible. Like, I thought I was always very athletic, but I am as stiff as this table. Like, when did you become so flexible? Was it always like that, or did at some point you're like, oh, I'm flexible now, I can do certain things?
Yeah, I think I was always flexible.
Okay.
I think a lot of kids are flexible and they lose it just if they stop stretching, and I just kept stretching when just like throughout the years, just being a goalie, I knew was important, and I just kept my flexibility. I remember when I was younger, just like elementary school, I think in like the field, like I would go to the grass and I'd be like, guys, like come watch this, and I'd just sit in the splits. I thought it was so cool.
You're like Jean-Claude Van Damme with chairs on either side, and you're putting your legs up, and you're like, look at what I can do. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
So what led you to Northeastern? What led you to computer sciences? How did that all evolve?
Yeah, I mean, so I was committed to University of Vermont before I was Northeastern, and you know, it didn't really work out there with coaching staff changing, and the spot at Northeastern opened up, and Caden Primo had previously been there. He signed with the Habs, and you know, the starting job opened at an amazing school, and you know, it was just perfect opportunity. Their coach came out, reached out, or my agent reached out to their coach, and then they started talking, and it was just perfect situation to be able to go in and kind of try to fill Primo's shoes, who had an amazing career, won the Mike Richter at the school. So it worked out perfectly, and I'm so happy I did it, because you know, the path ever since then has been unbelievable with opportunities. So I'm just so happy that I went there.
And,
So
and your major, computer sciences? Is that
Yes,
right?
yeah. So my dad, he's into AI and artificial intelligence, and he's running a company that is revolved around that. So he just kind of explains to me how cool it is, that it's the future, and that it's good to know. So I didn't know anything about it going in, and I was just like, why not? Let's give it a try.
Okay, tough school, though.
Yeah.
Computer science and all. Did you always pass every class you entered at school?
I did, yeah.
Okay, you did? Okay,
Yeah.
good. See, kids, even though it's hard, you can't
It's like
pass
Scholastic
it.
Player of the Year.
I know. I should have
Yeah, I
known
don't
that.
think I've ever
So
failed
you
a class.
mentioned Vermont and Northeastern. You mentioned Caden Primo. Did you ever think, like, well, Tim Thomas went to Vermont, maybe I want to be Tim Thomas, or was that, like, way too far? Like, Tim Thomas is a complete old generation before you.
Yeah, well, I mean, when I committed to Vermont at first, I knew that he went there, and Marty St. Louis, I'm
Yep.
pretty sure too. So I knew that they had their amazing alumni as well. And yeah, it's a really good school also. I think it would have been fun too, but I'm very happy with
The
with
style of
decision.
play of Tim Thomas, maybe
The
it's
best.
not. Yep.
Next to Dom. Next to Dom, the best.
Not today's game, not
No.
in 2023, but yes,
Yeah.
okay.
But it's pretty cool that, like, you know, a guy that doesn't play the right way is
Yeah.
still able to Stanley Cup champion, and you know, he found a way to keep the puck out of the net. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Love
With
that.
a different helmet. His equipment didn't even have label on it because he pieced them from the guy next door in the garage, made his pads. Like, it was just, you talk about regulation and specifications and all of that.
Yeah.
Like, they had to definitely measure his gear multiple times a year because it came from nowhere, like, and everywhere. It just, he
Yeah.
pieced it together and stitched it himself. Arthur Searby style, though.
Oh, yeah. Did Jeff Skinner approve that water choice today?
That's for water.
Does he not like that water?
No!
It's his sponsor for Between Two Stalls.
You're going to have to catch up on some social media things.
Yeah.
He's done some pretty good interviews.
Amazing stuff,
Yes.
really. Hidden talents and unknown passions. What do you got for us?
Unknown passion. I like to play the piano.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Favorite piece on the piano.
All of Me by John Legend.
Okay,
Yeah.
I
Wow.
like that.
He was just at the Kings game last night. I was watching late last night, and there he was. So, what other artists inspire you then musically?
I wouldn't say like I'm like that good. You know, I could play a few songs. Like,
Yeah.
it's fun to just learn it.
But even just being a fan of, what are some of your favorite musical artists?
I like rap, like before games. And just the classic guys, like the bigger names.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too picky with my music. I got into country music this summer. Morgan Wallen, I like his music.
Dylan Cousins to blame for that? Or?
Actually, yeah. You know what? World Juniors is the first time
Yeah.
that I heard I heard any country music, and
So you got him and Krebs, right?
Yeah.
And Krebs' sister is an artist in Nashville.
Yeah, I
right?
heard.
Yeah. And have you seen Phil Tomasino here with the Predators?
no, I didn't see him, but I'm gonna try to find him later and say hi.
Yeah, another World
There's a World
Junior,
Juniors teammate. So, any other sports that you played? Like that you were like you talk about your family being so athletic. You must have played a million sports, but any other ones that stood out?
Yeah, I played a bunch of sports growing up, but one that I still like play for fun to this day is tennis.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I like it a lot. I play with my dad, my brother. They're both really good, and just some friends from back home.
Favorite tennis player right now? Shapovalov or Felix?
Shapovalov's good.
Felix Auger. You
yeah,
seem
he's
like
really
the two
good
Canadian
too.
guys.
Yeah,
so.
I would say, yeah. I remember watching Shapovalov when a few years ago he was really young and he made that run. I don't remember which tournament it was, but it was really impressive. So
There was that, and the time he hit the judge with the tennis ball, which was not so good. In anger, he slammed the tennis ball, and it caught the judge right in the head, and he's like, he got DQ'd for it.
Yeah. Also women's tennis. Also, I like watching Bianca and Fernandez.
Yeah, Layla's pretty good.
Yeah,
so,
Layla's really good. Andreescu as well.
See you in the lineup soon.
Yeah, hope so.
All right.
That was awesome.
Sounds
Thank
good.
you.
Great
That
to
was
see you, Devon.
Yeah, pleasure.